Alanis Morissette songs are known for anger bubbling beneath the surface. While it may be cathartic, this pent-up hostility clouds the understanding of words. Comedic legend Ed Byrne called out the not-so-ironic situation Alanis belts out.
Here's Alanis Morissette with her new single, taken from the album Two.
Irony refers to a situation where there is a discrepancy between what is expected or intended and what actually occurs.
You know, the ironic thing about that song is that it's called ironic and it's written by a woman who doesn't know what irony is. Let's try it in English.
Maybe that is irony given Alanis's bitterness, but she goes on. A traffic jam when you're already late.
Isn't it ironic about being stuck in a traffic jam when you're late for something? Not unless you're a town planner.
And then Alanis sings, "It's like rain on your wedding day."
Only if you're getting married to a weatherman and you set a date.
But we can't pick on Alanis too much. She didn't shy away from expressing vulnerability, questioning herself, criticizing pressure for perfection, and despite all the angst, there is an underlying desire for understanding and connection. Maybe she just needed a big hug. Unfortunately for us, irony is all around today. There's more irony than tribbles on a Captain Kirk spaceship. Denouncing violence as a noble cause. But the activists use brutal UFC right hooks to get their point across. That's some top-shelf situational irony there. Self-proclaimed pacifists being more vicious than Mike Tyson feasting on an ear. Advocating for gender equality and protecting women against violence. That's something all civilized people can get behind. Some rally passionately to support this cause. Then you see those same activists supporting regimes that treat women as second-class citizens. These vegans are chowing down on a bloody steak wearing a "meat is murder" t-shirt. Then there is the firefighting, arsonist, free speech warriors who demand cancellation of anyone that merely asks a question about the ideology they are ramming down people's throats. Heaven help the people who might have a different point of view because your free speech is forfeit. We're living in a world where the gap between proclaimed high and mighty intentions and the arse-backward actions to achieve those intentions could swallow the Titanic. There's even irony in the smug look on their faces as they use the very means they object to as a mechanism to achieve their objective and think it's totally cool. Thank God we can call on Shirley Schmidt to sort out this bullshit. In a world where self-proclaimed champions of peace and love yell, scream, and use violence to impose their views, Shirley Schmidt fires a verbal batarang against the storm of hypocrisy, disintegrating the incoming bull armed with wit and ironclad integrity. She's a goddamn force of nature against the absurd drivel these modern purveyors inject into society. In the face of Shirley Schmidt's power, the bazookas of crap fired her way are tantamount to a Nerf dart fired at Mace Windu. Master Shirley Schmidt effortlessly establishes her boundaries, firmly stands by her convictions, and does so without ever strong-arming others into embracing her worldview. With the emotional fortitude of a T-Rex feasting on a lawyer, Shirley maintains her composure and responds to the most belligerent wanker with unassailable reason and unrelenting assertiveness. Never does Shirley stoop to the level of impulsive outburst or aggressive chest-thumping. Shirley Schmidt is the supreme kingsman of girl bosses, the Bene Gesserit Reverend Mother Superior of navigating life's bullshit. Shirley penned the 12 colonies' sacred scrolls for being a badass in the face of adversity. A coveted text for Battlestar captains to shield against bullshit flung across the galaxy. It's your ancient guide to handling life's crap without compromising your values or descending into the cesspool of assholery.
This is the way.
The Shirley Schmidt way. Let's take a cosmic leap from the world of Boston Legal through the multiverse to a delightful tiny blue marble orbiting a yellow dwarf star. It's a place where absurdities are boundless and the bullshit flows as freely as milk and honey in the land of Canaan. Using the trusty reality transmographer, let's teleport a Shirley Schmidt interaction into our world.
She is a subordinate. There is a disparity of power. You will refrain from any sexual advances, verbal or otherwise.
Shirley, what about senior partners? There would be nothing wrong with me lusting, say, after you, would there?
The elephant in the room is, of course, sexual harassment. A standard response goes something like this. What the f***, Alan? You perverted piece of shit. I'd fire your ass, but I wouldn't get the pleasure of marching your ass into a 12-week sensitivity boot camp. And while you're at it, write a 5,000-word manifesto depicting the evil patriarchy's obsession with vilifying women as husks for birthing. Do it now before I go full Kalishi on your ass. It's a knee-jerk, emotionally charged thermonuclear reaction that seeks to impose a belief system through coercion and punishment. It's the activist pouring gasoline on a dumpster fire to put out the flames. Shirley Schmidt rises above the situation. Calmly and in control, Shirley responds,
Go subscribe to National Geographic. Make a list of all the places you'll never get to visit. Add to that list Schmidt.
Shirley shuts down the bull without becoming a raging emotional hypocrite. Shirley wields wit more effectively than does Yoda with a lightsaber against Count Dooku. Her comeback is so sharp, it effortlessly slices through Alan's ego without breaking a sweat and lands a verbal bitch slap that immediately lets him know, not in this lifetime, buddy. Her response leaves no room for misinterpretation that Shirley is off limits to Alan. She sets clear boundaries that Alan's advances are about as welcome as a highly toxic baked bean fart in a spacesuit. Without getting confrontational or aggressive, Shirley shuts down that shit faster than a Jedi mind trick at a stormtrooper convention. These aren't the boundaries you're looking for. And that's the thing about Shirley. She's got composure for days. Lesser mortals flip their shit and go nuclear. She keeps her cool in the face of blatant douchebaggery. That's the kind of emotional maturity that separates a Jedi from a Padawan. Subverting expectations is also key. Most people poke jabs to get under your skin for the reaction. Alan probably thought he was being all smooth and clever with his little come on. Shirley didn't bite. She flipped the script and caught him off guard and didn't allow him the satisfaction of being rattled. Most of all, Shirley avoids escalation. She doesn't give Alan the satisfaction of a drawn-out argument or a dramatic showdown. She drops the mic and walks away, leaving him to stew on his own idiocy. It's a power move that puts her on top. Resorting to coercion and aggression to make your point is both hypocritical and the height of dumbassery. You play right into the hands of the very system you're trying to fight against. Shirley Schmidt shows the best way to deal with bullshit is to not smear it all over yourself. You rise above it. She's like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of standing up for yourself and your principles without compromising your integrity or becoming the very thing you despise. How can I do that, oh purveyor of sliding elephants through eyes of needles, you ask? There are two keys to the Shirley Schmidt method. Keep your cool and set boundaries. This is the foundation for dealing with life's absurdities without losing your or compromising your principles. You might ask, what actions does the master, Shirley Schmidt, share to keep the bull at bay? 1. Practice mindfulness and deep breathing. When some asshat is pushing your buttons and you feel like a rage spiral coming on, take a moment for a few deep breaths. Then unleash your inner metalhead. Windmill your hair like you're summoning a demon and headbang their assholery right out of your system. It's way more effective than just a few deep breaths. 2. Take a step back and assess the situation objectively. Before you react, take a mental step back. Sometimes the best way to deal with a jerk is to channel your inner Clint Eastwood. Put on your shades, straighten your back, and walk the hell away with swagger. You get bonus points for a slow motion exit with a badass one-liner thrown over your shoulder.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Use humor to diffuse your own tension. Channel your inner Deadpool. Drop a witty quip so savage it leaves the jerk speechless. Laughter is the best medicine, and added with a perfectly timed sarcastic burn, it's a deliciously preventative measure from your inner superhero. 4. Remember your values and use them as an anchor. Channel your inner Hulk Hogan or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Take a deep breath, visualize your entrance music blasting around the arena, and strut out a mental victory lap. Remember the strength and resilience you possess. Don't get baited into a brawl before the match. Stay focused on your goals and your principles. And to set boundaries stronger than any Death Star force field, 1. Know your limits and communicate them clearly. Consider yourself a spicy dish. Not everyone can handle your heat. Wear a metaphorical warning label that lets people know what they're getting into. If they can't handle your boundaries, they can find a milder flavor elsewhere. 2. Practice saying no without justification. Be a Terminator. Look them dead in the eye and deliver a firm no.
Senor Sonotrum, along with final.
In a monotone voice that leaves them no room for argument. If they keep pressing, terminate the conversation as swiftly and efficiently as possible. Remember, you're on a mission, and your mission is self-respect. 3. Enforce consequences when boundaries are crossed. Whether it's ending a conversation, leaving a situation, or cutting ties with a toxic person, make it clear there are real repercussions for disrespecting your boundaries. Don't hang around bullshit because it stinks worse than a tauntaun on Hoth.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries. You are the average of the 5 villains you scheme with. Make sure you're plotting mutual world domination together, not devising plans for painfully slow death machines. Assemble your inner circle like a badass villain team, and only let in the ones who match your ambition and keep the chaos exciting. The bullshit runs rampant in our world, and it's easy to feel like you're drowning in a sea of hypocrisy. But there is another way. Keep your cool, set boundaries, and stay true to your principles. Want to feel good about yourself? There's nothing more satisfying than looking in the mirror and knowing that you stood your ground in the face of overwhelming bullshit and rose above it. Be the calm in the storm, the sane, unmovable object in the face of absurdity leeching across the globe. Set boundaries like a fucking boss. Add Schmidt to the places you'll never visit is a rallying cry and your guiding light in the darkness. Rise above the bullshit, set boundaries, and stand tall in the face of adversity. Confidently stride through the chaos like a Terminator on a mission and impervious to the nonsense around you. Because no matter how deep the bullshit gets, you have the power to rise above it. That's my 2 cents. Until we meet again, stay defiant and alive.